All right, Dave here. So working on the Hemi starter project now. So we got the crank in. This is all mock-up again. So crank's in. So this is a 160 tooth flywheel, 168 tooth flywheel. So this is not a Chrysler flywheel. So this is a Chevy flywheel, 168, but with a Hemi bolt pattern on the crank. So, now here is a Chrysler starter, and here's the starter pocket. So I'd imagine, your normal car doesn't have this mid plate. So I'd imagine this type of starter would have bolted on a bell housing. All right, so it would go through that hole or a bell housing and then bolt up. So obviously this one here wouldn't fit anyways. And then if it did go into that hole right where the spot would be here, the pinion is way too far past the ring gear, and you can't have that. The pinion has to be way back here. And then when it engages like so, then it comes out, hits your flywheel and spins it. So this will not work on this application. Plus the teeth is wrong to go with the 168 Chevy tooth pattern. So this has to go back. So now we have another starter. So this one I could have made work either up here and then just, make some holes and all that stuff in here. But again, I would have had to replace this to match that. And this is the flywheel that I have anyway, so didn't want to go through changing all these little teeth here and all that. So what my buddy told me is some guys use a Chevy starter. So I got this starter here and take this off. And these things are pretty much all the same anyways. Maybe different powers or something like that, but this is where it counts. All right, so let's move over here to this side. So I drilled this hole, and so what I did is, all right, so the fourth hole would be out here. So I had to cut all that out, angle it on the mill, and then do some clearance here also for the oil pan to fit. So now what we have here, turn this engine that way. So we got a flat spot down here in the bottom of the engine, and had to machine all that out to fit in there like so. And then what I'll do is maybe through bolt right here perhaps, and then there's a couple of holes that go all the way through up into the block, which a Chevy does. This block has no holes up there, so I would have to drill up in here, drill and tap 2 holes, and then I'll put another hole in here. So that's how that's gonna work. And then I will make this fit in here wherever it needs to be, and then I'll just drill some holes. It's got a couple holes. Maybe I'll get lucky that it lines up into this block here, because usually you can turn these a little bit different directions, make that fit. So that's going to work out real nice. So what I got to do is just get it up there, and you can see how this engages like that. So that's going to be perfect. I'll set it up in there a little tight, and then I'll be able to shim it down according to what I need for some clearance. So I milled that last night too to get it down closer, to get that tooth or the teeth engaged into the ring gear fully. So that's how that's going to work. Chevy starter on a Chrysler block. And it's going to go right up in there like so. So that's how you do that. I couldn't find no information at all of anybody doing this, except for me. Of course, I do everything the hard way. all custom. So just work on that, get that mounted, drilled and tapped, and then be able to put the engine in. Check out, because I've got a frame rail down here too, so I make sure everything fits there. I'll put the bell housing on, see where everything goes there, see where my through bolt's gonna go through. And this is a triple disc Crower clutch. So, all right. So if anybody, does this kind of stuff, let me know what you did. A lot of people put a starter right there, kind of like this one. I think like a Ford starter or something, but it would have a smaller flywheel. So this is, the Chevy, so it's a little bigger, and a lot of like funny cars and pro mods or whatnot. This might be in the way of the frame rails, all depending on how you made your car. So that's that. So let's get this thing going and set it in the car. That's that. Dave out.